sixth graders. Today I'm going to show you how to make 4 different types of eggs. Today we're going to see how to make scrambled eggs, fried eggs, hard-boiled eggs, and also toad in a hole. So what I'm going to explain to you today is how to make them so that tomorrow you are prepared for them. Tomorrow you will all make 1 egg whether you want to or not, okay? Even if you're not going to eat it, I highly suggest you make one, and just to try it out, just to see how eggs are made. So what we're going to do to start off is we're going to make a scrambled egg. Scrambled eggs are my favorite egg because they get really well cooked. What we're going to do to start off is I am just going to turn on my pan to medium heat. The reason we use medium heat is because if you cook eggs too fast, they're going to burn before they actually cook. So that's why I always use medium heat when I'm cooking eggs. So to start off, I'm just going to crack the egg into a bowl, like this, and then throw the eggshell away. Now I touched raw eggs, so I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands really quickly because I don't want salmonella from my eggs. Okay, now that I have my egg in my bowl here, I am just going to take a fork and I'm going to do what is called whisking it. So very similar to when we made our French toast, I'm just going to smash down the yolk and just kind of move it around the bowl to make it one even texture. You will have to be mixing the yolk and the egg white together. That's your goal here when you make scrambled eggs, is to combine it all into one even mixture. So from here, we are going to go ahead and add, this is where you can add milk or water to make your eggs fluffy. I prefer water because it doesn't add any calories, but you may use milk also. I am just going to add approximately 1 tablespoon of water just for some added fluffiness. And now your eggs are ready for your pan. So, for making your eggs scrambled, you always start off with some sort of nonstick. If you have a nonstick pan, awesome, that's great. But I'm going to put a little bit of butter because the butter usually helps to prevent the eggs from sticking. So I'm just going to put a little bit of butter on my pan and make sure that it melts. Notice that I'm using a rubber scraper for this. That's okay. I like to use a rubber scraper when I'm making scrambled eggs because it's usually a little bit easier to get all of the ingredients to mix together easier. But it's up to you. You could use a turner also if you'd prefer. Please don't use metal on a nonstick pan though. That's my only request. Once you get your butter melted, you can go ahead and put your egg on top of the butter. Now, my pan is warped because someone put it in hot water or cold water after it was hot. So I'm just going to push it all back to the middle. This is how you make your eggs scrambled. You just kind of push them around the pan until they start to cook. So like I said, my pan maybe isn't the best pan for this, but I'm just going to continue pushing it around. The way to tell when an egg is cooked is when it starts to turn white and the egg yolk starts to solidify. Okay, so you might notice now that it's starting to get a little bit more solid up here. That's a sign that it's starting to cook. So I'm just going to continue pushing them around the pan. And that's going to keep it from turning into, say, a fried egg or a sunny side up egg. Scrambled eggs, you are essentially scrambling them around the pan. So I'm just going to keep pushing them around the pan. Now tomorrow, if you choose to make scrambled eggs, you could use this pan right here. The deep ones usually work a little bit better for the scrambled eggs. But I figured it would be easier to see if I used a flat pan for you to make them. So notice how I'm still just pushing it around the pan, making sure that I get as much as I can into the middle, because that's where it's cooking, that's where the heat is underneath. Now the way to tell if these are done, they should not be shiny at all. Scrambled eggs, when they are done, they should look like a flat color, and they should be completely cooked all the way through. If they're still shiny though, that means that it still needs some cooking time. Okay, so you just keep pushing it around that pan until it looks like it is not shiny anymore. Ta-da! Beautiful scrambled eggs. Okay, so I'm going to put these off to the side while I get ready to make the fried egg. Okay, so when you are making your eggs, you want to be careful to clean your pan in between. Otherwise, this stuff is going to all get stuck to the bottom. So that's why you use that butter, is to help prevent this. Like I said, I'm not using a very good pan, so I'm going to try and get all of this off as much as I can before I start on the fried egg. Okay, so now for a fried egg, you start off the same way by putting some butter on your pan. Once again, I don't want my eggs to stick, so I'm just going to put that butter on here like this, let it melt, and while I'm waiting for it to melt, I'm going to grab my egg. Fried eggs, instead of scrambling them up, you actually crack them right on the pan. And so I'm just going to take, and once my butter is melted, crack my egg right onto the pan. Okay, now I'm going to carefully get this to stay. There we go. Okay, so now you're going to notice that there's some white forming around the edges of the egg. That is the egg yolk cooking. And your goal is to get that egg yolk to cook also. Now, if you wanted to make a sunny side up egg, this is how you would leave it. Okay, sunny side up is not the safest way to eat an egg because it's not always cooked all the way throughout. But fried eggs, we flip halfway in between. So if you've noticed, there's still some liquid here around the edges. It's starting to turn white, but there's still some invisible clear stuff on top. So I'm just going to be careful not to break the yolk, unless you want to break the yolk. That is an option also. This is more sunny side up. This would become more of a fried egg. Okay, so all I did was crush the yolk there. Once it looks like the bottom is completely cooked and it's going to be solid, we're going to flip it over. I like to wait just a little bit longer, just so that I don't make a huge mess when I flip over my egg. So that's why I just kind of push the sides around. And then once it looks like you can put your turner underneath the egg, you should be good to flip it. Looks like I still have to wait a little bit longer. Once again, I'm using medium heat. If I would have this on high heat right now, the bottom would be completely burned and the top wouldn't even start to cook. So it looks like looks like it's sticking to my pan. I should have grabbed a better pan, but looks like it's ready to flip. Oh, that was not my best fried egg I've ever made. So when you guys make your fried eggs, the bottom should be completely cooked before you flip it over. And instead of scrambling it around your pan like you would for scrambled eggs, fried eggs just sit here. Like I said, this is not an ideal fried egg, but oh well. Worse things could happen. Okay, so I sometimes get a little antsy and I flip it before it's supposed to. Do you see the yolk here? This means that it's not cooked yet. So I'm going to wait for the bottom to get hard, to solidify a little bit, before I flip it back over again, like now. There, that's what your fried egg is supposed to look like. Okay, notice how it's starting to get a little bit brown along the edges. And it is also, the white is all cooked. The egg white starts off clear. It's also known as the albumin. The albumin starts off clear and then works its way white when it is cooked. I'm just going to flip this back over one more time. If you like a little bit of a runny yolk, you can not smash the egg like I did here and instead just let it cook and then flip it over. That's called a soft cooked egg. But I kind of like the inside's nice and cooked. Once it's done, just grab it off your pan. put it on your plate. My computer went to sleep on me. Okay, so back at it. Here we are. We have our fried egg over here on our plate on top of our scrambled eggs. Okay, so now the next one I'm going to show you how to do is a toad in a hole. So I'm going to leave my pan going because I'm going to need it for the next step. What I'm going to do for a toad in a hole, you take a piece of bread, okay, like this one, and you grab a plate and you put your bread down on your plate. And what you're going to do now is cut a hole out of the middle. The reason you do this is because this is where your egg is going to be put in the end. So you just take a cup, flip it upside down, push down in the middle, give it a little spin here. And if you're good, oh, mine's still frozen in the middle. Oh man. So I'm just going to push a little bit harder. Okay, and then you should get, I call this guy Mr. Toasty. Mr. Toasty pops out of the middle of your bread. Then what you're going to do is you're actually, oh, try not to rip it like I did. You're going to cook your egg in the middle of your bread. Okay, so I'm going to flip back over to the pan. So I'm going to once again start off with my butter. Mr. Toasty normally requires a little bit more butter. Okay, so I get it going. Then I put my bread down. What you're doing is making a piece of toast on top of your egg. So from here, you can choose, you can scramble your egg in the middle or just plop in a fried egg. That's what I'm going to do here, maybe. Okay, now my egg is going to cook on the inside of my bread. While I'm waiting for my egg to cook, I can put down just a little bit more butter. And I can start cooking Mr. Toasty. That's what I call this guy. So what I'm doing is making a piece of, I don't know, grilled cheese without the cheese, really. Okay, so now I'm watching my my egg here in the middle. Once again, you may choose sunny side up, or if you want to break the yolk, you can. It's totally up to you how you like to do it. Then once it looks like the bottom is completely cooked. Now, you have to be able to move your bread before you can flip this. Otherwise, you're just going to have a disaster on your hands. So like I just broke through the bottom of that, so that means it needs a little bit more cooking. It shouldn't be a pool in here when you're ready to flip it, but it should be able to be one solid mass before you flip it. Keep an eye on Mr. Toasty here, otherwise he burns. So I'm just going to flip it over. See, look at that. Beautiful toast marks. Okay, so now looks like I'm ready to flip this. So I'm going to carefully take it, move it out of the way, and I'm going to put down a little bit more butter because otherwise it really sticks. And then flip. Okay, now once again, not my best one, but you get the idea. The egg is now cooked in the middle on this side, and so now it's getting ready to be cooked on the other side. Don't forget about Mr. Toasty here, otherwise you're going to end up with a burnt piece of bread. Oh, Mr. Toasty. I'm going to put a little bit of butter on here. Okay, and then I'm going to take and just make sure that it is completely flipped over. Okay, so now once your bread is cooked on one side, I like to flip it back over one more time just to check that it's completely cooked. Now it looks like my yolk is cooked as well as my egg white. So I just like to take and put my Mr. Toasty here on top of the bread, pull it off, put it on the plate, and I should be ready to go. And that, my sixth graders, is how we make these 3 eggs. I will show you how to make hard-boiled eggs in a little bit. If I can shut my computer off. Possibly.